to the Unitarian Fellowship of Lake Norman. We welcome everyone here in person and everyone at home today. We're an open and inclusive congregation. Our members walk diverse paths to find meaning and purpose, and we're all united by our belief in the inherent worth of all and by the responsibility to express our faith through acts of justice and compassion. My name is Pamela Engelbert. I've been an active member of this congregation since February of this year. We also have in our excellent music department with us, Mike Alec today, and his backup band, Eddie Gunn. And we're very fortunate to have a founding member as speaker today, Laurie Walker. I'm sure she's known to most of you. It was my first time meeting her today. Laurie is a mind-body expert in the benefits of yoga and meditation for emotional and physical resilience. As a charter member of our fellowship, Laurie helped nurture the roots of the Unitarian Fellowship of Lake Norman. When she's not teaching yoga, she loves digging in her garden, camping in the Blue Ridge Mountains with her husband Scott and her dog Sadie. During 10 years of leading wise aging meditation circles for adults 70 and over, Laurie has had a front row seat to the work of wisdom from amazing humans who are willing to question their beliefs, seek meaning, extend compassionate care for all, and form meaningful connections. This wisdom work can be done at any age. Why wait for a curiosity about life, more joy, awe, and inner peace? Laurie will share a few lessons with us today. And to start our service, we start with our lighting our chalice and speaking the words that call to this occasion. They're in your order of service. We light this flaming chalice to illuminate the world we seek. In our search for truth, may we be just. In our search for justice, may we be loving. And in loving, may we find peace. And now we have some opening words from Laurie.
The opening words I chose today are a Navajo Blessing Way prayer. And it is a prayer. It is sort of a poem too, but it can also be a song. So I'm going to sing a little bit of it and then speak the rest. In beauty may I walk all day long. May I walk in beauty. May I walk. May I walk in peace. On the trail marked with pollen, may I walk. On the trail with grasshoppers about my feet, may I walk. With dew about my feet, may I walk. With beauty, may I walk. With beauty before me, may I walk. With beauty behind me, may I walk. With beauty above me, may I walk. With beauty beneath my feet, may I walk. With beauty all around me, may I walk. In old age wandering on a trail of beauty, living again, may I walk. All is completed in beauty. All is completed in beauty.
You dropped something, I can't tell if it's important or not. It's not important.
Thank you, Laurie. So now we'll have some centering music to prepare for Laurie's talk. Thank you, Mike.
Oh, Mike, I miss your music. And I'm so happy to be here today. It's good to see so many people filling up this room and this congregation thriving. Which one? Okay, I will. Like this, like this. Ah, like that. I didn't know it went that way. All right. So anyway, it's good to see everybody. I'm glad to be here. So in Carl Jung's writings about the stages of life, he said we should enter old age, and he considered old age at the time of this writing to be 40. The way he said we should enter old age the way one enters the senior year at a university. He wrote, a human being would certainly not grow to be 70 or 80 years of age if this longevity had no meaning for the species to which he belongs. The afternoon of human life must also have a significance of its own and cannot be merely a pitiful appendage to life's morning. So there. As a yoga and meditation teacher, I'm going to have to bring my water closer to me. As a yoga and meditation teacher, I have been honored to facilitate the work of creating meaning in the afternoon of people's lives. Often my role switches from teacher to student, student to teacher, as I learn and grow wisdom with my groups, who are mostly in their 80s. First, a little background on this topic, which started about 56 years ago for me, when I was age 10. Around age 10, in the 10th grade, I think that's right, my 6th grade English teacher assigned a report to the class where we had to pick a church and write a full report about their beliefs and practices. And it could be a church of your choosing. My choice, the Catholic Church. Why? It wasn't a tough choice for me, because at that age, I was enamored by Roman Catholicism. I grew up in Toledo, where half the neighborhood kids went to public school, the other half went to Blessed Sacrament. And every once in a while, I'd get to go to Blessed Sacrament with one of my friends. And I loved the smells, the bells, the different language, the getting up and getting down. I just thought it was the coolest experience ever. You know, I was 10, right? It was so much better than my boring United Methodist Church. So you always want what you don't have. By age 10, my Methodist church just didn't compare. So since my set of world books didn't have everything I need to write my full report, I went to the local library to browse through the religion section. It was there that I saw what looked like a very important book with dark black fabric and gold lettering, shiny gold writing on the cover. And the title of it was Searching for God in Old Age. Okay, now I was 10. 56 years later, I still remember seeing that book. And my childish reaction was, cheaters. I'm glad you got that. My thought process at age 10 was very black and white, right? You were either in the God line, where you had to be good with the promise of heaven at the end, or you were in the line of people destined for hell. It's just two lines. And in my childish estimation, older people who are interested in a book about God, finding God, after they had spent their lives in debauchery and sin, were not following the rules. And now that they wanted to get into heaven, they wanted to break in line. So that wasn't fair. That was cheating. 20 years later, in my 20s, I left the United Methodist Church of my youth and metaphorically left that space in line for somebody to cut in, that space in line to heaven. I had outgrown my religion, but not my spirituality. At that time, I had started practicing yoga and meditation. And when I became clear about my personal beliefs, I found and joined a Unitarian Universalist congregation in Charlotte. In the past 10 years, I have facilitated meditation groups for older adults who might have been like the people who were searching for that book, right? Finding God. They are people who share the need to grow inwardly. Some have spent their lives in organized religion, some not, and the common thread is a shared desire to deepen their spiritual lives. Though many churches have more elders than they have children, there are many curriculum programs for children, but there are very few for older adults in all religions. There's no place for older adults to harvest their lives and grow their wisdom in community. Evidence shows that we do not automatically grow wise with age. Wisdom comes from a blending of knowledge and experience, and it's seasoned with reflection and in community. It's work that can be done, is often done in community. Writers as long as 2000 BCE have understood that every stage of life has a particular role, both practical and spiritual. And the Vedic writers on the Indian subcontinent laid out a system of 4 stages of life. The third stage, the stage I'm talking about, older age, is a time to reflect on what has been and a time to study something new. Perhaps study what there was no time to study previously. It is a time for turning inward, making sense of it all. Our culture has a focus on productivity as we age and looking younger, and little attention is given to the work of the Spirit. When I was first asked about 10 years ago to offer a series on meditation and mindfulness at the retirement community where I was teaching yoga, I was humbled and felt a great deal of trepidation. And so many of you know this retirement community, the Pines. It's here in Davidson. Many of the residents are former clergy people and a lot of professors at Davidson. So I'm thinking, what does little old me, what am I going to tell them about meditation and mindfulness that will resonate with them? What did I know about aging into my 70s and 80s? Because at that time I was in my 50s, early 50s. I knew my practices though, and my traditions of going inward. But I was fearful that they wouldn't be received, that I would seem too far out or too spiritually immature. But I did it. And I started a meditation series and honored the path that they helped them honor the path that they have already walked. So what did I do to prepare? I went back to the library. That's what I did, like I did when I was in 6th grade and about to write my report. But at the library, and at that time also went to Barnes and Noble because that was a thing. I had little results. There were at that time very few books on spirituality and aging. There are more now that baby boomers, many have crossed the threshold of 65 and counting. Now baby boomers make up about 21% of the population in this country. So there are more resources. But at that time, no. Aging as a Spiritual Practice was the only book I found on the shelf at Barnes & Noble. It's by Lewis Richmond, and it became my reference book. And then the rest I took from all the teachers that I have ever learned from, in yoga, and there were many. So that's how I got started. So my students, it turns out, had a sense of open-heartedness and fearlessness that I didn't have. They were open to meditation. They were open to all the different exercises I proposed for going deeper, doing life reviews, writing poetry, and all the works of, going inward. We journaled, we practiced different breathing practices, we meditated for long periods of time, and everything I introduced, people were open to it. And I was so embraced because they were looking for something like this. And even those that had a regular, a strong practice of Christianity or whatever, said that what we were doing in the class enhanced their work with their own religion. And so it was so encouraging. Since that class, I've continued to offer mindfulness series to many, many older adults. And for the past 4 years, I've had what I call a wise aging meditation circle, where it's a more intimate group, and we do meditate together, and then we also support each other and explore ideas like the ones I did in my meditation series. And from all of this work that I've done through teaching mindfulness, from my meditation circles, I have met so many interesting people who have taught me so much and become part of what's called in yoga my golden chain, my chain of teachers that I rely upon for their wisdom. One of the people that I met along my way who stands out probably more than anybody, is a woman named Joyce Nunzio. Joyce Nunzio has since left this planet, and she was glad to go when she did. She taught me about non-attachment. Joyce was a fierce 90-year-old when I met her, and she attended one of my early journaling and meditation programs that I did for Davidson Senior Connection. Some of you may know that group of Neighbors Helping Neighbors, which I was there at the early parts of getting that started. After this journaling class, mind you, she told me she hated journaling because she didn't have a lot to write about, she said. In spite of my prompts and encouragement, she was vehement in her refusal to journal. And what she did, though, instead was she invited me over to her home to meditate with her because she loved to meditate. It turns out that Feisty Joyce had spent the first part of her retirement in an ashram. And so she was no stranger to meditation. So, I'm sorry, I just lost my place. After Joyce passed from this world, her caregiver gave me a call and said, I want you to come over because Joyce has left you a few things. And guess what was in that pile of things that she gave me? Yes, the journal. I opened it up, and there was one entry on the front page. It said, Laurie told me I need to write in a journal. Here's my entry. So F it, Joyce. Yeah. So I meditated with Joyce, and what an experience to go to Joyce's home. When I entered her home, I could not believe how sparse it was. Sparse in furnishings, sparse in everything. She had very, very few belongings. The most belongings she had were books. And so every time I went to visit her, guess what I came home with? Books. She practiced the Swedish art of death cleaning, which is actually a thing. And it's about reducing clutter so you don't pass it along to the next generation. And one of the practices is you give away meaningful things to people who are meaningful to you. So that was Joyce, and she taught me a lot. When it came closer to her time of death, I would visit Joyce. Unfortunately, she ended her life in a hospital, which was not her wish, but I would go to visit her and sing chants. She loved the Sanskrit chanting, sit in silence. And the day before she died, I visited her in the early morning at the hospital. And as she woke up, she said, "Am I still here?" So, yeah, Joyce, you are. Her reply, "Damn it." Joyce left this world, much to her joy, the next day. She taught me about finding peace at the end of her life and being at peace to pass to the next world. Another student who became a forever teacher continues to teach and surprise me with her open-mindedness. Though she is a practicing Christian, she continues to be a seeker. Her latest, from an email I received from her, latest spiritual expansion is through a work with the shaman and studies with Cynthia Bourgeot. I don't know, some of you may know her, a modern day mystic and Episcopal priest whose work is focused on conscious aging. If you're interested in conscious aging, what I'm talking about, Cynthia Bourgeot is one you can look up. This former student of mine, also teacher, recently made a bold move, and this is something you don't do. She was a resident at the Pines, and you know, when you go to a place like the Pines, you pay a big deposit, right? And it just came to pass that she felt like she needed to be near the ocean at the end of her life. So this friend of mine gave up her big deposit and moved to Wilmington, North Carolina, to the beach to finish her life. And I thought that was pretty bold. So at age 80, what was she, maybe 83 or 84, she made a big move. Another memorable teacher was a retired Christian ethics professor at Davidson College. His name was Sam Maloney. Some of you may know him. He's since gone. Sam was a member, a longtime member of my meditation group. We met all through COVID on Zoom on Monday mornings. And Sam helped me and others think deeply about ethics of death and dying. And Sam was a forever learner. He was such an interesting person. He was open to concepts as wide as our connection to beings from other planets. And his world was magnificent, and he shared it with others. He was endlessly excited about our learning, and he taught me wonder. One student touched me deeply after class when he stayed after class to let me know his participation in mindfulness had helped him come to terms with his racist feelings toward the Japanese that had persisted since he served in World War II. He ended up having meaningful conversations with another student who was in that class who was Japanese. I will never forget his lesson on forgiveness. And finally, a lesson on joy from a student come teacher. This student is one of the most physically challenged yoga students I have at the Pines, and she keeps coming to class, even though it hurts to move and walk and sit. She has been a champion for mindfulness and meditation at yoga ever since I got there. She's the reason I had my first mindfulness series, because she would not stop shouting about it. And she's a fierce proponent and responsible for inviting others to experience contemplative spiritual offerings. In my weekly Wise meditation circle, she often has a book, a poem, a movie, or other suggestion that might help somebody on their journey. She's full of gratitude, she's curious, and full of joy. So I'm forever grateful for all the wisdom. While I'm supposed to be giving out wisdom, I've gotten a whole lot back, and I'm still learning. All of my teachers, as I said earlier, make up my golden chain, that chain of energetic wisdom of all our teachers, past, present, future. Wisdom may not come automatically with age, but it can grow at any age if we meaningfully connect and engage in mindful processes that include qualities of reflection, curiosity, discernment, openness, gratefulness, awareness, wonder, joy, forgiveness. When we practice these qualities and share our knowledge and experience, we create our own golden chain, and we're all the wiser for it. Thank you. Thank you.
So now it's time for talk back. If you have a comment or a question or anything you'd like to say regarding Laurie's wonderful message, we would love to hear it. Please.
Somebody please say something. Oh,
Laurie, you're my kind of girl.
good.
I come from a rather holistic background, I like to say. And I realize there's such talent and such viewpoint within this congregation. I'm wondering if there wouldn't be a way to let other people know what you did that they could step into other than hearing you here.
Right.
Because
Well,
I certainly got intrigued by the whole
Yeah,
thing.
I do have an open, free meditation circle that meets weekly on Zoom, and people are invited to come.
And they would just contact you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mhm. I get to meet new people.
Yes, hi, my name is Carol, and thank you so much for being here. It's really a great message. When my kids were younger, they had to do a service project in high school, and I tried to get them to develop a nonprofit called Gen Exchange
Right.
for Generation Exchange. And that was back when a lot of people didn't quite know how to use these new phones and the technology. And my thought was, if we can get the younger ones to teach them that while they help with a real history from experience, wisdom and things that you were doing, I just thought, what an amazing experience. I couldn't get it off the ground. Of course, they wanted to work in animal shelters and other things, which is great. But I'm wondering, how can you get your message of this incredible wisdom, connectedness to a younger group of people? Not that we're not young, but I was thinking maybe
Right, well, it has,
even more
Yeah.
young.
I guess my answer would be intentional meetings, it would be really cool to have young people help older adults finagle their social media. And that is so necessary because there is a digital divide. There are a lot of older adults who could really get a feeling of more connectivity by being able to access Zoom, etc. But anyway, intentional meetings and get-togethers of young people and older people. And then maybe it's, hey, bring your phone. And that's what you do, right? Or some, something that you could do, but then that will create conversation between each other.
Hey, Laurie.
Hey.
My name's Greg Davis, and thank you so much for being here. It's really, this whole thing about the journey of getting older, something that we are all been marching on for forever.
Right.
And I'm looking at it from the standpoint of really working at trying to get in touch with who I am and finding, that person who's come along all these years of the changes and the movements and everything else, and what does it all come to or culminate to? So that whole search of self.
Right. Yeah. It's a lot of, it'd be nice to find a group, but it can be done, first of all, inwardly, pick up a notebook and journal once a day. Or you could be like Joyce and say, okay, but there are other ways. But that's one way to start mining your own thoughts. And it doesn't have to be long writing. You could just jot a few notes of thoughts that you've had. Or, some people like to write a lot and maybe start writing your own spiritual autobiography, a memoir. I know that's daunting, but just jot down a few notes.
I have the privilege of still having my mother living, and she's 91. And whenever I talk with her and visit with her, I always have to encourage her or help her to see that she's a soul living in a body. And so, I get into a thing about like, Mom, you just have to let your soul shine. Like your body's not shining like it used to, but your soul, that's where it's all happening now, And it really kind of gets me thinking about it too, because I think as I'm getting older, passing the 65 bridge, there is more emphasis in my own life for realizing that I really am more of a soul than I am a body, because my body is dying, but my soul is rising, like it's getting more energy, and it takes a daily practice. It takes a seriousness about that. But, it just helps my mom. Like, I just see that there really is an empty, like I tried to get there's a Unity Church in Naples, Florida, which she lives near, and tried to get one of the spiritual counselors to come visit my mom, but my mom wasn't open to that. She was like not familiar with that, and but I just
my head up and down because I live with my 88-year-old mother.
Yeah.
Who wants none of this.
Yeah, and it's just so necessary. My mom wants it, but she doesn't know how to approach it. It's really not out there.
You can't do her work for her.
Yeah. And when you live 91 years and you're not used to that practice. So in my mind, learning from her, I see like it's all starting now. Life is just beginning as more of a spiritual person than a physical person. So I'm learning from her. Like I want, if I do, if I end up, it doesn't matter how long I live, but I just want to, I see that is definitely a need for older people to feel comfortable expanding their internal life and seeing the joy in that, So I appreciate everything you were talking about, and my mother would be a great candidate for that.
So would mine.
Yeah, but it's so hard to teach,
You can't do people's work for them.
That's right. I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Hi, Laurie. We've known each other many years. First, two things. First of all, I'm Tim again. My mother will be 90 next week, and if you've got an email from me encouraging to send her a birthday card, we're still trying to get 90 birthday cards to her. She would be more like your mother. I don't think she'll have a clue what you're talking about.
Right.
I don't know about opinion, like or dislike, but I don't think she'd have any information on it. But the other thing I want to simply build on you, not in any way disagree. If you're like me, you don't like to write, if you want to use a keyboard or if you want to speech into a file,
Yeah,
please contact me. I can work through those technologies with you.
that's good. Yeah, and there's things like StoryCorps and ways that you can record your memories. If you could help people, that'd be awesome. Anybody else? Hey.
Laurie, you mentioned that the Zoom free meditation
Yeah.
circle is on every. How do you access that Zoom link?
So, if I just get a piece of paper and people want to write down their email address, I'll send the link to them.
Did you want to
That's
put it in the newsletter?
I could put in the newsletter, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Or if you want it right away, yeah, just give me your email.
I could put it in the web calendar, though. I could do that.
There you go. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for your interest.
Thank you so much, Laurie. So now some musical reflection by Mike and Eddie.
Two sharps.
Thank you, Laurie. It's great to see you. Yeah. This is one of yours. I believe the tide is gonna come and steal you home. Morning sun gonna rise up, illuminate your road. I believe the stars are bound to fall when you leave. Don't you know the whole world starts to turn when you leave? I believe the morning sun is gonna change your mind. I believe this moment has been coming for a time. I believe the road ahead is lined with dreams come true. Don't you know the better days are all because of you? Carolina sunrise, Carolina moon. Step into the brightest light, sing a sweet tune. Carolina sunrise, Carolina moon. I believe a better day is coming for you. Soon. I believe the water's gonna come and heal your soul. I believe your ocean waves, they're always gonna roll. I believe the love will find a way into your heart. Don't you know it's always been inside you from the start? Carolina sunrise, Carolina moon. Step into the brightest light, sing a sweet tune. Carolina sunrise, Carolina moon. I believe a better day is coming for you. like sing a sweet tune. Carolina sunrise, Carolina moon. I believe a better day is coming for you. Sing. Coming for you.
This fellowship is important to all of us. The contributions we make today allow us to sustain and grow our congregation and reach out to our community nearby and in the larger world. In a specific way, your giving affirms our commitment to each other and to the community. And may I urge the viewers at home to switch briefly to the main page of our website and just hit the donate button with the in-person members.
Announcements. I just want everybody to know it's available. There you go.
With grateful hearts, we receive these gifts. May they encourage us to live lives of integrity, compassion, and peace. We are also grateful to all the people who make possible our Sunday services, all our various community activities, and presenting us to the outside world via newsletter and YouTube. And that includes everyone who cheers us on by being in these chairs today or even in their more comfortable chairs at home. We have some announcements. I think Mr. Gunn has something to say right off the bat.
I just want everybody to know that the First Baptist Church in Statesville has a program of giving medical equipment away to people. And we spoke about this, and I told them I think we could get a wheelchair. We have a wheelchair available to us now. It's in the front, little tiny room in the front of this place where it will stay until it's needed. And I'd like to thank Assistant Pastor Miss Elizabeth. I'm going to ask Pat to give her a word. Thank you.
So we have a social supper after our service, and everyone is invited just to share a meal and talk over the service. Where are we going today, Linda? Okay. So the Fusion Bowl in Cornelius. We'll be there. Yes, everyone is welcome. Movie Tuesdays, again, Linda. We have a Springsteen this Tuesday at Birkdale at 12:35. And usually after the movie, everybody goes across the street and has a snack and talks about the movie and most anything else you can think of. The Heart of the Carolinas Unitarian Universalist Animal Ministry. We had a very successful build this past weekend for Bella and Chico, and they are now off their chains and in a beautiful enclosed space where they're safe. and can run around and play. And it's just the most wonderful feeling to do that. And there's also a bill this coming Saturday, November 1st at 9 o'clock, Beaumont Lane in Lincolnton. And if you're not familiar, you can also, we have a Facebook page, the Heart of the Carolinas Animal Ministry, that will be on there as well. So please join us. It's a wonderful time, and it's over before you know it. Yes,
I just have to say, with the Hearts of Carolina, the reach out that they've been doing has been tremendously successful. They have more and more people coming to them looking for an enclosure for their dogs. Lots of people in need. And it's such a great thing. The dogs that yesterday, I mean, you see happy dogs, so you see some seriously happy dogs. If these dogs could, they'd have put on hats. But the work that gets done and participation in doing it is just absolutely fantastic. So the more people that will join Hearts of Carolina, better it will be.
And they're on the red calendar too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Also, Pam, if I could add that several of our members are key to that activity, including the price, some of them. There. But it's almost ecumenical. It's everyone's invited to come help. They have other organizations and maybe churches. I actually don't know who else is coming out, but I know it's not just us, and it's a really nice way for us to meet other people and work with them.
some of the rescue groups come. I think they found us or we found them, and a lot of people are with rescue groups. Some of the people I didn't know when I
There are
started.
some teenagers doing service projects.
Yes, that too. So it's a nice mix, and it's a lot of fun. It's not a serious thing. We have a really good time and work really hard, but it's a lot of fun. And then let's see, Feed and See. Let's not forget that. Second Thursday from 10:30 to 2:30. Slice, dice, wash, chop, you name it. It's available for you to do, and that's fun too. And it's usually a good group. And sometimes we're short a person or two, and they bring in some of the students that are in the cooking school there, and that's just a delightful experience as well. So come join us at Feed and See. It's really a fun time. And then Friday Action Hour. That is Friday mornings at 11 a.m. on Zoom every Friday. And you can read about that in your order of service. It's very well attended, I understand. Next Sunday, Reverend Pat will talk to us about the meaning and traditions of the Mexican Day of the Dead. Everyone is welcome to bring photos of loved ones who have gone before, and maybe share a story if you'd like to do that as well. I know it'll be special. So, any other announcements? Anybody have anything else? Okay, so our closing song is number 123, Spirit of Life.
Back to see. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart, stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Move in the hand, giving life shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
So, Laurie, closing words?
Okay. Closing words, it's actually a closing blessing by Rosemary Trommer. And if there is peace to be found, may it remake us the way the sunrise remakes each morning, the way birdsong remakes the air. May peace find us again and again, and may it shape and reshape us the way the river creates its bed simply by flowing.
We close our services by extinguishing the light of the chalice and saying together the words in your order of service. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again.